Can I get you anything?
No, thanks. I'm waiting for someone.
Well, handsome, let me know if she don't show up.
Hello,
G.I. Joe?
Hey, I know you. You're with Extensive Enterprises.
No, we are.
Extensive Enterprises.
Look, I don't talk to creeps who do business with Cobra. Take your...
Don't you think your mother
Has enough medical bills,
Why burden her?
with funeral expenses as well.
Yours. But we're not looking for trouble.
We wish to offer you a little proposition
We'll pay all your mother's medical bills in return for information.
concerning the Joe's new armor system. This card has a phone number on it.
Call us if you're interested.
I may be hard up, but I'm no traitor!
Top that one.
Guess it's worth taking a look inside.
Back us up, Roadblock.
You got it. The Joes are intercepting our every move. This Viper must be tipping them off. You, Major Blood, are the most likely candidate.
Me? A Viper? Do you realize how close I came to being captured by those G.I. Joe blokes? It can't be.
The Viper?
Blood's been with us
Constantly for the...
last 24 hours.
Say no more, or I will suspect you too.
Oh, come now. Do you have any idea
Of all the man-hours involved in
financing
planning
and building a new Cobra R&R center?
why would we tell the Joes where we are located? We're surrounded by G.I. Joes! The Viper
has struck again.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Cool Toys, and what I have here on my table today is the new Super 7 Tomax and xamot. Just unboxed these just a little bit ago. I already posted the video, so please watch the unboxing. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. This video also, I really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up and some comments, especially at the end of the video after you're done watching it. So I have my other original G.I. Joe O-ring figures. If you're not aware, Super 7 released, they are starting to release G.I. Joe action figures that are in the O-ring fashion. O-ring meaning in the middle of the figures, if you can see it. Sorry for not the light. This guy's loose. I have to replace his O-ring, Cobra Commander. Let's get the light in there. No ring is that rubbery plastic thing right there in the middle. So if you watch this channel, you already know what O-rings are. But for new viewers and aren't aware and weren't born in the 80s or 90s, you may not know what O-rings are. So we will see once I take Tomax and xamot out of the package how they compare with these vintage G.I. Joes. They look pretty good. In my unboxing, I already explained some defects, side effects that I saw, which are a little bit concerning, but we'll see once we take them out of the package. I have the original Tomax and xamot, and what I've noticed, and which is strange, is that, all right, here's my guy. He has, well, it's not in the camera. See the scar on his cheek? It's on his left side. And on the Super 7 Tomax xamot, the scar is on the right side of his face. And I will show you that and compare it closer. So I don't know what's going on, if Super 7 just doesn't care enough to pay attention to the original figures, if Hasbro said they weren't allowed to put the scar on the correct side, which doesn't make sense. You know, they should have the license to be able to copy it. But somebody screwed up. This is the original one. He came out first. Unless I have a factory defect where, you know, every other toy has the scar on his right side of his cheek, and I'm the only guy that has a scar on the right side, then this guy would be very, very valuable and worth a lot of money. As you can see, no scar and scar, right side. See the collar? I'm sorry, scar is on the left side. I just said that right. Left side scar, no scar on his right side. Anyway, let's move these guys aside. and bring the package in a little closer for y'all to see. Looks cool. I love the nostalgic of the artwork. You know, the blast effects here. Them in their suits. Really, really cool, amazing, nice, awesome action pose. Has that reflective material on the side of the package, just like Minaj to the original packaging. This looks like the way it was released in the 1980s, but you know these guys were like that in the package. Let me see if I can get that in a better shot. Gotta stand this up. Trying to do this with the camera on the tripod is a little hard to do. I got to reach around the side here. So as you can see, they would have been in there just like that. And of course, different artwork at the top. When I was younger, I remember going to a toy store and actually picking out the vintage 80s version of Tomax and Xamot. So this is really awesome. You know, it's like 35 years later, they released these in the form that would have been cool in the 80s if they did both of these figures. Here is the bio if you guys want to pause and read. At least it's just in one language, English, and not gibberish. You still got that on some other packages. Made in China, Hasbro. So, and here's the reaction. I didn't like it that they did just the 5 points of articulation reaction figures. They should have just right from the get-go got the license to do it like this, O-ring, or make them like more modern 4-inch figures with no O-ring. I get the nostalgic feels of O-rings, you know, that's just what they had then, but, you know, nowadays we have the modern articulation, and then you won't have to worry about all this looseness in the figures, especially in the stomach area and the waist, because once the O-ring goes bad, it makes the legs very loose because it's connected through there, and the O-ring will just deteriorate over the years. It just the rubber breaks down and it becomes very loose, and your figures become very gummy and rattly. You can hear it rattling a little bit. So that's the only disadvantage with the O-rings. But you know, hey, it's what we grew up with, and that's what a lot of collectors are collecting. And it's fine. Just do both for people that like both figures. 4-inch modern and 3 3/8 1.75 or 3.75 rather. All right, so I'm going to pause the video, cut all the tape, and take these guys out of the package, and we'll take a look at everything they came with. Stand by. All right, I just wanted to turn the camera back on so you can see kind of where it goes. There's tape on this corner and this corner. There's a little bit of glue, so you just have to be careful while you're pulling the cardboard apart. If you do care about the packaging. If you don't care about the package, then just rip it apart. But once you get it open like this, you'll see that there is a card back, but it's just all cardboard on the back. So once you tear off this bubble, they're just going to pop out. So you really don't need to take off the tape if you can get a razor knife like under this plastic here and pop them off. So, you know, since I already removed the tape and I opened up this cardboard, I'm going to just get my razor knife and cut along the edge, and you'll see. I'll pause the video and pull them out, and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Okay, so if you want to keep them still in the blister card and keep it somewhat nice looking, see like this, then I already cut it, and now I can just lift it like this, pull out the accessories. Looks like the briefcases. Here are the figures, and you still have a pretty decent package right here. All right, so let's pop these guys out of here. Their blister card. Good thing is there's no tape holding them in, so you don't have to worry about cutting any of that tape. So first impressions, the plastic feels very, very light. If you pick up a vintage figure, it is a lot heavier. If the vintage ones, I believe they did it in like PVC plastic. I don't know what type of plastic this is, but it is super light. Um, and when you have light plastic, it feels cheap, and that's the way I'm going to describe it. It feels very cheap for the money you spent on these figures. Even the arms, I've felt plastic like this on Walmart action figures at this same size. Those action packs from like Rayzand or something. I have a video on them. They come with a like say a pickup truck or a construction vehicle, and they have these very cheap generic action figures that are even like almost O-ring size, and that's exactly what these feel like. Real cheap plastic. The knees feel super loose. It's not coming down, but as I'm moving it, it doesn't feel like any resistance is in there, which means that it might break down later in the future. It's going to become very wobbly. The O-ring looks thicker than an original one. Let me see if I can get the light in there. So there's the O-ring. I mean, I don't want to complain too much about the figure, but like I said, for the money you spend on these things, you want them to be very good quality. So there is the scar. Is it coming on the camera? I can't. The lighting is not perfect, but the scar is on his right side. So, it's hard to see through the camera to tell right and left because it's the opposite. But you turn the guy around, this is your right side if you're standing facing a wall. And the scar is on the right side. Let's take a look at the vintage figure. Here's the vintage figure. He's facing the wall. There's no scar on his right side, but the scar is on his left side. So what the hell's going on here? We got the scars on the wrong place. The vintage one, I mean, I believe all the vintage ones have the scar on the left side. Why would Super 7 make that mistake of putting the scar on the left side when it's supposed to be on the right side? I'm trying to talk and look at the camera. I don't know if it's coming through, but all right. Let me try and hold these guys just a little bit better. Hang on. Trying to get the focus. So hope you all can see it. If you have the vintage figure and you do buy these new ones, you can examine it yourself. You can pull it out and look at it yourself. Like I said, unless I have the only vintage figure that is a factory default defect, then this guy is worth a ton of money. And that would be nice. Let's look at the other one. So here's both of these guys. I like the blue, the yellow tie, the red flower. I don't know if in the cartoon, if they were wearing yellow ties, it would be nice if they did match it to what was on the cartoon. Let's look at the weapons real quick. Basically the same thing. One just fell on the ground, but pistol almost looks like the hair dryer pistol that Cobra Commander comes with in the vintage figure. Here is the briefcase. Pretty nice briefcase. Has these little latches at the top. You open it up, and here is their costume. It's really cool that they painted it. The paint is just like a flat paint. So after, they get a mission from Cobra, they, like Batman, they change from their civilian clothes into their battle armor, their combat military uniform. These guys are like acrobats, parkour guys. They just run around and jump around. And so they need, pretty flexible uniform, no, there's no arm shirt to get in the way, a long arm shirt, what I'm trying to say, to get in the way of them doing their flips and aerobatics. They're almost like gymnasts. They can do all kinds of gymnastic poses. So it's pretty cool that they do come with a briefcase with their uniform in it, because if they were flying out in their helicopter somewhere and then they get to, say, from their high-rise building, the helicopter would be on the roof. They take the elevator up to the roof, get on the helicopter, fly out to Cobra Island. Once they get to Cobra Island, after they're done discussing business with Cobra Commander, going over their financial plans and how they're, you know, making money to purchase all the weaponry, everything. If you think of a military, you got to pay for food, the housing for your troops, their weapons, their ammunition, the vehicles, the maintenance. You need a lot of money, millions, billions, trillions of dollars to supply a military. And I guess Tomax and xamot are in charge of the finances. So after they're done the meeting, then they can go into the locker room and change into their combat uniform and then plan an attack on G.I. Joe. I will set these guys up in one final pose and we'll do my afterthoughts. Okay, I'm back. So with this shot, I got the briefcases in their hands and the weapons in their hands. I was very careful because I'm worried that, like vintage G.I. Joes, the thumbs will snap off. Especially putting on the briefcase, because the briefcase handle is a thicker plastic, and the thumb had to bend out, and I was worried that thing was going to snap off. I actually wasn't going to put the briefcases in there, but I was like, hey, better do it now while I still got the receipt for the things, because if there was thumb break off, I can still return them and get my money back, or get another pair of action figures on the Crimson Guard, Tomax and xamot. Pretty nice, pretty cool. They can hold a briefcase, hold their weapon. Businessmen going to work for Cobra Commander. They can stand pretty well, actually. That's the thing I will say about them that is very good, is that even with their accessories in their hands, I can basically just pose their legs straight and just put them down like straight one time and they will stand well. So they do stand very well. I will give Super 7 that. With me, I like it when action figures come with stands, but if they don't come on a stand, I expect them to stand up on their own with very minimal, painstaking actions to make them do that. Just pose them and put them down, boom, and then you can play, pose, take videos and pictures, whatever. So let me know in the comments. Do you have them? Do you like them? Do you care about Super 7 doing them? Do you only want Hasbro to do them? I wish Hasbro and Super 7 would do them. Why not? At least with Super 7, we're getting figures that Hasbro never did. I like it that they do that. I don't want all the repaints and the same figures over and over and over again. Like, don't give me this guy because I already have him. I want him. But hey, there may be people out there in the world that don't have him. Maybe he's too expensive now. So that is another reason why I can see them doing a remake of the same figure. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe. This is Cool Toys. Later.
Not over yet, my dear. There are two of us, remember?
xamot! What hit you? I'm coming, xamot! Hold on!
Oh, no, you don't.
You and I still have a score to settle.
Boy, that's what I call telegraphing your punches.
Enough! I give up!
I didn't even touch him.
2 for the price of 1.